Good morning and welcome to Normandy. Unfortunately, I've been rained off today. Actually, the guy that I was going, oh dear, skidding a bit, hang on. The guy that I was going to go and do the work for today, he messaged me last night and said, you know, can we cancel tomorrow because of the weather? So I looked at my weather app and it just basically said that I'd rain in the afternoon. But that's not the case. It's hoofing it down, and it's due to hoof it down all day. So anyway, good job it's cancelled. So it gives me a chance to catch up on a few other things today. Now, the reason for this video is Nathan from Nathan Lewis Gardening Services Limited. Sorry, he put a video up about knowing your worth. And then Pete, the tattoo gardener, put one up basically with a couple of experiences that he went through. I replied to one of his post with an experience that I had and how I deal with customers. He was talking about his experiences. So I just thought I would make a short video on my way down to Subaru to pick up a bottle of gas and a stick for lunch on how I actually deal with customers, because maybe I don't really hear of any other ways that, you know, the way I do it, that people deal with customers the same way as I do. So anyway, I'll start with the one that I commented on Pete's video, and that was a guy that he messaged me, and it was the second. I'd already done a job for this guy, and I'll actually come back to that story after this one. He messaged me, and he had a 6,500 square metre field that he wanted mowing, and he just basically said, "Oh, can you just do the initial cut for us? And then I'll be able to maintain it myself after that. It's just that my mower will struggle going through it." So I said, "Yeah, you know, 6,500 square metres." I thought, and I give him a price, and it was €280 to do this cut. And he come back and he said, "Oh, can you do it for €200? So I messaged him back and I said, "Yeah, I can do it for €200. Just let me know which half you want doing." And I left it at that. And, you know, I never heard from him again. I think the point is, you know, like Nathan said, know your worth, and don't take any shit from anybody. You know, I mean, I believe that I'm in a better situation work-wise than a lot of people. And what I mean by that is, I mean, there's an awful lot of land and there's an awful lot of gardens out here and not enough people to maintain it. And I would say probably 50% of my clients are expats that have second homes, so they're not here, so they need them gardens and their land and everything maintaining. And also you get people that fall into the trap of buying huge places, not even thinking about the maintenance of the place, and then when they've been in there, you know, for the first year, they think, shit, how am I going to cut this grass? You know, and they make the big mistake of buying a ride-on. So they'll go down to the Brico and they make a big thing about spending, "Oh, I've just spent €2,000 on a ride-on." Well, yeah, that's great, but you may as well go and buy a €300 mower, because it's probably going to last about the same amount of time. You know, you ain't got a lawn, you've got a field, and fields need to be maintained differently. I'm not saying that you can't cut a field with a mower. Of course you can, but that mower just ain't going to last long at all. It's going to fall to bits. It's just not built for it. It's built for a lawn, and that's why they have lawn tyres. You know, fields, you need an agricultural tyre. You're not collecting on a field, you know, a 2-3 acre field. You're not going to collect on that field. You're just going to cut and let it all mulch into the ground. So anyway, this guy, he come back to me eventually and he said, "Oh, it's all right, I'll do it myself." But now, the second story, this happened a previous year. The same guy, he messaged me about doing some gutter cleaning. He said, "I've got 120 metres of gutter." He said, "We just moved into the place. I've noticed a lot of water coming over the edge, so I believe my gutters need clearing." He said, is this something you're able to do? I said, yeah, no problem. 120 metres, you say? I'll do that. I think it was the same price, actually. I think I said 280. And he come back and he went, is that your best price? So I said, no. I went back and said, no, it's not my best price. I normally charge around about €4 a metre. I said, so my best price is going to be €480. So is that any good to you? And he come back with like a load of stupid emojis, which I didn't really understand. And we left it at that. And about a week to 10 days went by. And he come back to me. He said, oh, I've just been on Google Maps and I've measured it, and it's 80 metres. And I said, look, send me your address. I'll measure. I've got like, that's how I normally do stuff. I measure from this measuring app that I've got. So I'll measure land and I'll measure gutters and everything like that. So he sent it to me. Yeah, it was about 82 metres. So he obviously thinks his house is bigger than it is. And so I went back to him and I said, right, at €220. He went, oh, that's only 60 euros less than before. I said, yeah, different price. I said, you've got, I have a price structure. When you hit a certain length, it goes up. When you've got another, hit another length, it might come down. I said, it's €220. And he went, okay. So anyway, I got that job. But, I think what I'm trying to say is, just don't take any shit. You've got to stick to your guns. You've got to stick to your price. And if they're messing you about, for something like a gutter clean, for instance, that could cause thousands and thousands of pounds worth of damage in the end. Not only to his gutter, he could have problems with the roof. You could have problems with your gutters and the downpipes. You could have problems with all your lintels underneath. I've got other stories to do with that, but I'm not going to go into that now. But, they're squabbling over €60 for something that needs doing and probably won't need doing again for a long time. In order, something in the future could cost them thousands. Anyway, we'll put that one to bed. I got the job, but I didn't get the second job with the 6,500 square metres. Anyway, the next one I had was a guy. He was in the next village to me, actually. He put this advert out for an handyman sort of thing. Someone recommended me. He got hold of me, and he just said, "Oh, what's your plumbing and your carpentry skills like?" I went back to him and said, "Look, I deal with gardens. If you've got any brambles or anything like that, yeah, I'll do that. Why are you asking me about plumbing and carpentry?" He said, "Oh, I was speaking to such and such, and you did this for him." I said, "Yeah, that's right, yeah." I said, "But I don't advertise the fact that I can do all of that, I said, "It's just like maybe a bit of winter work if there's not much outside going on." He went, "Yeah, well, I've got this and I've got that, blah, blah, blah." And I went, "Okay, I'll come and have a look." So I went round, had a look, and he had some major stuff to do, some rebuilding of a barn and what have you, and he wanted a bathroom and all this putting in upstairs, so he had to run all the first fix plumbing out the second fix eventually, installing everything. And he said to me at the end, we went round, we had a look, and I thought, yeah, and I didn't get a really, I didn't get a warm fuzzy feeling over him at all, And at the end of the walk round, he said to me, he said, right, he says, there's tons and tons of work here if the price is right. I said, yeah, okay, if the price is right. I said, well, if you've got that much work, my friend, I said, you've got far too much for me because I haven't got tons and tons of time. I said, I can do a one-off job over a day or 2 days. I said, but come March, I said, I'm maxed out till October with clients I've already got. I said, so a bit of a waste of time, really, And he went, oh, right, because you're that busy. I said, well, yeah, of course I'm that busy. And that sort of put that one to bed. Now, this is my favourite, this one. And it was a total spur of the moment decision to do this. But I went round and priced the job up. And it was a big job. We're talking thousands. And I think it was about 4,200, somewhere in that region it was to do this, the whole of the work he wanted doing. So anyway, he was a young lad, he was probably in his 30s, young lad. And we went round, we had a look at everything, and I give him this, I give him a rough price, because I always like to go away, do a divvy, like a quote, and then send it on to them. And then that way, you know, they've got it all in writing. So I'll give him a sort of a rough, it's going to be between, you know, 4,000 and 4,500. I'll have a proper look at it and blah, blah, blah. You know, that way, you know, he can either say yes or no, I'm happy with that, you know, happy with that price, and I'll go away and do all the paperwork, so I'm not wasting my time. So anyway, he said to me, he went, oh, because I wasn't really expecting that. He said, is there any chance that, you know, you could sort of bring it in around about the 3,000 to 3,500 mark? And I said to him, I said, are you self-employed or are you employed? He went, no, I'm employed. I said, so you're on a salary? He went, yeah. I said, sit down. This was in his house. I said, sit down. So we sat down. And I said, we're going to do a little bit of role play now. And he looked at me all confused, like, you know, I said, who's this nut job I've let in? I said, we're just going to do a little role play. I said, but bear with me. I said, so you be you and I'll be your boss. And he went, I said, are you up for that? And he went, yeah. So anyway, I said, okay. And I said to him, what's your name again? And he told me his name. I've forgotten his name. Let's call him Trevor. I said, all right, Trevor, you know, your work's really good this year. This is your yearly review. Your work's really good this year. He said, yeah, you know, he said, you know, you're on a salary of 35k, you know. I said, you know, you've earned that more than, you know, you've earned more than that. You've brought a lot in for the business and all this year. He said, but, you know, we're sort of, we need to be looking at cutting back somewhere. So are you prepared to take a drop in pay, let's say down to 30,000 for next year, all for the good of the business, you know, and it'll put a bit more money in my pocket? What would you say to that then, Trevor? And he went, well, no, I'm not going to do that. And I went, exactly. I said, well, there you go then. Why should I drop my pay to suit you and put more money in your pocket? That's my favourite. And anyway, I left it at that. And I became a bit of a legend and a celebrity in the region, because I went in the bar probably about a week or so afterwards, a couple of weeks afterwards. I went in the bar down in the local village, and they were all... They started calling me role play. I went, what are you talking about, Rob? Why are you calling me role play? And then they explained it. So obviously he's gone round and everyone finds it highly hilarious that I sat this guy down and explained to him basically the error of his ways. So anyway, that's my 2 pence worth for this particular topic. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm not like that all the time. I'm a nice man, really. I'm a nice bloke, but I just don't deal with knobheads, basically. I can't be doing with them. I've dealt with enough people like that in my time, officers, you know, and I just don't want to deal with any more of it, you know. So, you know, now I can work for myself, be my own boss. I haven't got to go out and earn, I haven't got to try hard, to get work, because it comes in all directions. So I think when you're lucky enough to be able to do that, you can become, you know, you can pick and choose your jobs, which is basically what I do. I pick and choose my jobs. If there's something I don't like or don't want to do, then I won't do it. Or what I'll do is I'll go and price every job, you know, especially if it's been recommended. I'll go and have a look at it and I'll give them a price. And if I don't want to do it, I'll just inflate the price. And I tell you what, the amount of work I've got by inflating the price as well is shocking. And, you know, some people say, oh, you're ripping people off. You're not ripping people off. You don't want to do the work. You know, go out. If you want the work doing, go and get 3 quotes minimum. You know, get people in, do the quotes. Whichever one you feel, you know, warm and fuzzy against, pick them. Pick the cheapest. You know, pick the most expensive if you want the most expensive. Go for the one in the middle. You know, it's entirely up to you. So how can you be ripping somebody off by giving them a price? I just don't understand it. You know, I would say a rip-off is when you say you're going to do something and you charge them the same, but you don't do it, or you do a real shit job. I mean, my dogs are going to start barking in a minute because I'm at Subaru, and they know they're going to be left in the van. So I'm going to have to sign off now. So hope you enjoyed the video. I'd love to hear some of your own experiences. So leave a comment below, and I'll get back to you with what I may have done in that situation. Have a nice day. See you later. Thanks for watching.